Hello, hello. We are here live. Thursday's update. I'm here to share something. I'm very sure you're gonna like it. And well, I'd like to start first with what I'm planning to talk about. And there are 3, 4 topics right now I think it's important, and I'm very sure it's gonna take your attention. There is a brand new deal going on in the market, not far from here, 20 miles from here. 6 units. I'm gonna tell you about that. I think it's probably a good idea if you like that kind of deals. Another thing is happening a lot with clients. When you're buying a house, you get the estimated, you start to see all the fees. Hey Dean, long time no see you. How you doing, brother? So you see all the fees and you wanna save $20 here, you wanna save $50 there, you wanna save 100 there, and you wanna know the exact amount you need to close. You don't understand that probably this is just estimated. It's the beginning of the transaction. It's gonna take time. I'm gonna be talking about that. I'm gonna be talking about when the mortgage payment is due. Is it the first of the month? Is it the 15th of the month? And of course, there are responsibilities. I'm gonna send a message to my kids. They are starting to pick up responsibilities at home, and I'm gonna share that with you here, and they can look at this later on in the future for years coming on. All right, guys, thank you for tuning in. And yes, like I was saying, there is a brand new deal, Lake Hughes. Do you know where Lake Hughes is located? Right now, we're in Pandel right here. In front of me is Pandel Boulevard, West Pandel Boulevard. If you drive all the way west to Pandel Boulevard, 20 miles, that is Lake Hughes. You're gonna see first Leona Valley, and after you pass Leona Valley to the left, is Lake Hughes. From Lake Hughes, just to give you an idea, from Lake Hughes to Castaic is only 20 miles. And then from there to LA downtown is another 40 miles. So I was just looking at it. It's a 6-unit building, 5 studio units. Each of them is rented for $675, and one bedroom, 1 bath. I think it's $750. So the whole thing combined, I was doing the numbers. Purchase price, asking price, $400,000. Let me know if you're interested. I can send you the listing agent information. It's around 13%. Not too shabby, huh? Maybe I'm not big of a fan of studio units. When you have a multi-unit building, more than 4, it's a commercial building. It's a different kind of financing. You more likely are gonna need around 25 to 35% down payment, depending on the FICO and everything else. But hey, it's a deal, 30% return of investment. How many deals in real estate right now, rental income can give you 30% of investment in LA County? Not many. So let me know if you wanna know more about that. And I'll send you the info of the agents. Remember, I'm the lender. I can do the loan for that, by the way, if you need help with the financing. Okay, so I was saying, when is the mortgage payment due? Is it the first of the month, every month? Yes, it is. When you have a house and you get a mortgage, the due date of the mortgage is the first of the month. However, all the mortgage companies in America, they give you room or break until the 15th. Brother, Arturo, broker. So you have the time until the 15th of the month to pay the mortgage payment without penalties, without late fees. And even if for any reason, sometimes in your life, something, circumstances, emergency, whatever, I hope that never happened, you don't pay on the 15th, it's not the end of the world yet. It's not gonna report on your credit as a negative. You're just gonna have to pay late fees to your servicer, and you have until the end of the month to get current and pay the mortgage for that month, just in case you didn't know this. Why I'm saying this? Well, I'm saying this because when you're renting, when you're a tenant, your due date is the first of the month. Or maybe depending on what date did you move into the property, the landlord probably had a 30 days option. So if you move on the 15th, maybe they're gonna charge you in the next 15 days. I don't see that often, but just to let you know, it's possible. However, 99% of the time is the beginning of the month, first of the month. If you don't pay the first of the month, most of the landlords are gonna give you probably 5-7 days grace period. And then if you pay after that, the late fee is kicking in. You see? When you are a tenant, you have to pay late fees right away the first 5-7 days. For any reason you have an emergency, you cannot pay the first 5-7 days, you're gonna end up paying late fees. And it's gonna be good for your tenant, for your landlord. They're probably gonna kick you out. However, when you're a homeowner, the lenders are giving you 15 days for free to catch up. And even though you need more time, you can still do it and don't have a late payment. Well, I want to share that with you because probably many people don't know that. A lot of people ask me all the time, when is going to be my mortgage due? Well, the first of the month. However, you have until the 15th. If you're a tenant, you're screwed. So don't waste your money anymore tenant renting. So scarcity is happening a lot here. Doing loans, everybody wants to know how much exactly do I need to close? How much exactly everything is gonna be? Remember, we as a lender, we just have a flat fee. A lot of the time, we give a lender's credit to the buyers to help them. No problem with that. So most of the time, the lender as a lender fee, probably even though you have it, is not gonna be there, or even if it is there, it's gonna be the same from the beginning until the end. We don't change fees during the transaction. However, all the real estate transaction getting financing on the transaction, fees might change every day. That's the reason why we call them estimated. Because you have property taxes, you pay every day on the property. You have interest for the mortgage you're getting. You're paying everyday interest on the mortgage. You're paying homeowners insurance if the account is impounded. Impounded or escrow account means that you have taxes and insurance included with the principal and interest of the mortgage payment. And sometimes you have, depending on the financing, mortgage insurance. So it is not the same closing the transaction on the beginning of the month, the first of the month, or closing the transaction on the 3rd of the month or the 15th of the month. So that means there is no way for us at the beginning of the transaction to know exactly 100% accuracy how much you're gonna need to bring to close, or how much exactly you're gonna end up paying for everything, including taxes and insurance and mortgage insurance and everything. Everything is up to the date when you're closing. If we estimate the date and that date really happened, well then, yes, Felix, how you doing? Hector. Then we can tell you, well, this is how much you might need to close. But the reality is, not all the time close the same date that we are expecting. We can close before, we can close later, and you know, it changes. That's the reason why we cannot tell you all the time at the beginning how much exactly. We just give you an estimate. And my point is, if you're buying a $300,000 house, a $500,000 property, and you are looking at the fees and you are worried about the $50, the $100, or there is a $300, even $1,000 difference on your closing costs from the beginning to the end, and you are worried about that, and you're not worried like the lending, the bank, the loan officer is helping you to get a $500,000 loan, a $300,000 loan. So if you don't see the whole picture and you're just focusing on those little fees, I understand and respect you're trying to save money, but come on, you're getting a huge as a deal, $300,000, $500,000, $1 million, and you're thinking about how you're gonna charge me $50 or $60 there or here. And at the same time, it's not the same closing the transaction at the beginning of the year or the end of the year, March, November. For you guys that are not homeowners, property taxes are due on March and November. So depending on the month you're closing and buying the transaction or doing the refi on it, the reserve required for the escrow account and pounds account might change. We might need 6-month reserve, we might need 9-month reserve, and then your money to close the transaction is higher or different than might be expected. 99% of the time, our estimated at the beginning of the transaction are quite similar at the end of the transaction. It might vary by $300-$500. I don't think that's big of a deal, but that's just the way it is in real estate sometimes when you're getting financing. All right, guys, was great to see you. For my kids, Victoria, she's 5 years old. Her first responsibility in home, besides picking up toys and keeping everything in order, on the bathroom she used the most, she needs to pick up the new toilet paper whenever the old toilet paper is over. And that way she starts to have some responsibilities and pay attention to details. And Sebastian, Sebastian and Victoria both, whenever they finish eating, they need to take the table, the plate and the glass and the cup to the sink in the kitchen. So kids, I love you. Victoria, Barbara, Sebastian, peace out, and I love you all you guys. See you next week. Bye-bye. Please comment and